look what I got here. Okay, totally unrelated. It's non-technical, but for me, it's fascinating. Yellow cherries. I didn't know that the yellow cherries even exist. I knew the black ones, I knew the red ones. Now I know the yellow ones. Nature is fascinating. But that's not the main topic of the day. We are still combining the peristaltic pump with the filling machine. What you see here is half a rotor. You see it only has one half because I just printed one half to test the clearances, the tolerances, came to the conclusion that 1 millimeter further in is perfectly what I need for the other hose. And so now I have here the second one just printed that needs to be assembled and all the stuff together. But that's for later. What I also had to realize after some tests is that this board here is useless to me right now because it's optically isolated. I'll show you. So this one here is the optocoupler, the optical isolator, and this the MOSFET that is driven by it. The thing is that this optocoupler only works at 5 volts. I have an ESP32 and the ESP32 runs at 3.3 volts, which brings me to having to build a new board, which I'm doing right here. So it's the good old way of building boards, like perforated board with with just putting wires on top of it, which is always a bit of a mess, but it has the advantage of being the fastest way of building a board. And it makes boards that work well. We just get one shot. You can't make 10 with these. That would be total mess. But since this is one-off machine, I'll start by improvising a bit. And then I can then design a board that does the job as it should. Straighten that a bit. Yeah, I'll put clamp after that. Tiny needle nose pliers. Where are you? Oh, here you are. Very useful when dealing with thin wires and stuff is having a pair of small needle nose pliers. Here we go. And now what you will see lying around everywhere on my desks are these spares from cut-off resistors or capacitors or whatsoever. And these are actually very useful when working with this kind of boards. Or actually, that thing here is from a connector strip. Actually, it doesn't really matter what it is as long as it's metal. And it's a metal that is solderable, because then you can just build traces like that. So let's add a little bit of solder on this side. The only tricky part is that, of course, it has a nasty tendency to move around while you try to solder it. I guess that's not too bad. Or what we could do, because this is going to be my ground rail, let's try if when I heat this up here. So that's what I wanted. Here is my ground rail. It goes all the way down here, and it's pretty connected all the way through. So this is ground, this is PWM, and this is one switched output, and that's the other switched output. Now, talking about outputs, that is my input clamp. This is going to be my output clamp. Let's put it around here. Why do I need some space here in between? It's because I'm a bit confused about my PWM signal. I have to test that carefully. But I suspect that my motor doesn't really understand the PWM I'm sending it, because even if I send a constant velocity, constant PWM, there's a cat down here. Who are you and what are you doing down here, dear cat? Want to see neighbor's cat? I guess it's neighbor's one. Let me check. Meow. Meow. Oh, that's our cat. Huh? I have to present internet audience. Yeah, I know. So, hello. That's Lisa. And as you see, she's very unhappy that I'm hugging her here downstairs. So, let's bring her upstairs again. Yeah, okay, let's go upstairs. Man, yeah, life is hard. Yeah, unbelievable. Go. Wrong way, upstairs. You want to go out? Go out. Out is the other way. Close the door. I want to work now. Oh, so cute. But somehow crazy. Cats are somehow strange. My 3D printer makes crazy noises. I don't know. You hear that? Maybe, oh no. Let's put that noise. I don't know why. I have no idea, because I had this kind of noise, and then I also realized that my hot end looks a bit bad and is oozing from all sides. And I had a replacement hot end, so I completely replaced the hot end. I have a new hot end, new nozzle, everything is new, but something is just not good. But in the meantime, you see here, 5 hours remaining into that print, so I can't take it apart and look what's it. It could be the ball bearing that is seizing up, not sure. We'll see. In the meantime, I realized that this little board I had made, these MOSFETs, these Chinese MOSFETs, I made bad experiences in the past when I sent too much current through it. These MOSFETs, I realized, they not only are they much weaker when it comes to current, but they are also different when it comes what voltage they need to switch. Because I remember back then when I was testing my coils on the beer machine, they switched, but then they burned and didn't switch off again because of too much current, but they switched at 3.3 volts. And the ones I have now in here, they just don't want to switch at 3.3 volts. But they switch at 5 and they survive. But that's the kind of quality differences you can get in one batch of Chinese material. So that means that I have to make that little board once again. I have the second half of my perf board, which I had cut off yesterday, and I will take the high quality MOSFETs I got here from a Swiss supplier. So, and I think just building a new board is as much work nearly as trying to pull these things out. And so let's build it. And this time I really want to think about having the camera, the overhead camera running, not like yesterday, and so you can watch me do it. If that is somehow interesting to you. But you're watching my channel, so somehow I think something about this must be interesting. So, let's gather the stuff, right? So, we have a piece of board, one of these, a bunch of these little pieces of wire that are lying around my desk, and somewhere up here I have these connectors. Actually, no, I need these ones. 2 of these, 4 pins. Or should I go to more? So I'm able to connect 2 grounds or stuff like this. Nah. I mean, it works. No, it's gonna do the trick. I mean, I just need 1 ground wire. They all connect together. So, I hope the background noise is not too awful for you to listen to. I must admit, is uncomfortable to me from here. So, but again, it is always good to get stuff done, because I realized, I mean, I can reuse the layout I had on this little board. You know, the PWM works. And actually, the PWM issue is not as big as I thought. Since I was frustrated with all the electronics, I disassembled and reassembled the whole pump. Once again, I could put in these nice little covers I had. I had to readjust the length of the hoses down here. So, yeah, that's also something I can suggest to you if you want to get something done. I mean, human beings have a tendency to procrastinate, right? Even if I'm mentally exhausted about trying to figure out the electronics, and I know I don't get further, the idea is move on to something else that is useful. At least before you move to YouTube or watching videos and stuff like that, which I also do from time to time when I'm really frustrated about everything or really tired or stuff like that. And now that I'm done, what is the first thing to do? Turn off the soldering iron again. Which of course will lead to me noticing something that needs to be done and having to turn it on in 5 minutes, but it's better to turn it off once more than needed than to leave it on all the time. So these needs to be trimmed, this can be trimmed. Now that should work. Let's start with this side. This is ground. Output is on this side.
Where's my ground? Here's my ground.
The one are still closed, so it maybe need to open them up first. Okay, back to here, ground, and the output side, ground. They start with this screwdriver. I cross-threaded that little clamp, obviously. And now the reason why I haven't disconnected this one yet is don't disconnect all at once. In many cases, when you replace the board or a plug or whatever, if you redo some wiring, if you just replace it all at once without looking at it, or you just cut it off, you lose all the colors and stuff, and that might cause some trouble because you can't reproduce it afterwards. But I can just now memorize it's white, brown, green, yellow. White, brown, green, and yellow. But let's do the yellow first because it's so close. And it is tight. So let's pull the latest code because I made a little mod. I'll probably anyway have to change my pins again. What do I have? On the green one, I have the PWM. And that is what originally was the fan on. So that's the PWM, which PWM is number 5. And then 5 fan on 13 and 15 we had. So I think the step 1 is going to be the yellow one. And this is the direction one. And the step was the 15. So this is going to be 15 here. I hope that works. Connect. Oh, you see, no Wi-Fi. Why do I have no Wi-Fi? Oh, it is dark up here. Let's give that guy a little bit of juice. Now everything here should be up and running. And we should see the Wi-Fi up here. No. Try again. Here we go. Connect. Reload. Yes. Drag and drop some firmware. Wait for the update. Check what this one is doing. Updating. Very nice. So we are in pump mode. Fan and direction are in this stop anyway, because now that I have switched the direction to 0, the fan is off, so that can't be what I want. I'm still confused what my 3D printer is making now, how much noise it's making. Yeah, okay. Well, I probably have messed up the speed and the direction. Let me check. No, but that is the speed. And I send it 3.3 volts of speed. Try the old way, huh? This one off. Well, this one we don't need. Whoa! What happens here? Yeah, look at where it rotates. It rotates. It rotates. So why is it rotating now? Or is that one the wrong one? But let's disconnect the direction first. Disconnect that one to minimize everything that could be interfering. But of course that now means to restart that one, reconnect, boom, reload, and now you are first row to see what's going to happen on this side. Go in pump mode and start the pump. No. What is going on here? I mean, I'm still... Or did I really mess both up? Is that the PWM signal? No. I send it 3.3 volts, but it doesn't want to turn on. Of course I need juice. So I guess the other one is the direction. So now I'm coming somewhere, getting somewhere. So that yellow one here is the direction pin I need. Not the red one. The red one is the brake, and if I activate the brake, it means nothing works anymore. There you go. Okay. And now that I know what I need and I don't need, let's cut these off so they don't do damage. And this one is a 5 volt, needs to go too. This one is a ground. Yeah, we can go ground somewhere else. So, now try again. Valve rotates. Cooling fan is on. Good. Now we're rotating this direction. We switch the direction to 1. Firmware update. Come on. Now, this one is sucking. Now it's rebooting. Now, try again. And it's sucking and blowing. So I can rotate in both directions, and you should have seen it on the GoPro footage. Yeah, so it rotates in both directions. So the electronics are done, kind of. I'm pretty sure they are done. So that is already very good. Then I can clean up the whole layout, close the whole case, and focus on software development in the next. What I also will need to do is inside here where we had the valve and stuff, I started redesigning all the parts, also redesigning for the larger tube diameter and so on. So all that stuff needs to be done too. So I need to rebuild this, but I am already pretty happy that the pump pumps. Okay, see you next time.